Welcome back to the BigCeaz Show. Today, I'm joined by somebody who's taken his love for hockey from the ice to the digital world, Jonny Lazarus. From his day at playing at UMass to building his career in content creation to his commitment to growing the game for the next generation, Johnny's story is all about passion and activity and creativity. Let's get into it. Let's get to know a little bit more about Jonny Lazarus. This year, I got to meet him personally. Awesome dude. Can't wait till you guys listen to what he's got to say. Hope you guys enjoy. Let's go. Jonny, welcome to the BigCeaz Show. How's it going?
The summer of BigCeaz continues. Huh? I see you taking
Oh,
over the SoFlo League now. You're everywhere, man.
it's
Coldplay doesn't stop.
nope, not when you're back-to-back champions. Not at
Yeah.
all, right?
Yeah, you soaking it all in or what? Are you ready for the season to start?
Dude, I am so ready.
Mm.
It is exciting to have football back too. I'm a big fantasy football person. I won 2 championships last year.
Are you a
So
Cowboy fan? Like, what's with the Dak shirt?
yeah, I'm a Cowboy fan. I'm
Why?
for there's a backstory.
Okay.
No, I actually, when I was 7 years old, I wrote a letter to a couple players, and Troy Aikman was one of the guys who wrote me back and sent me a
No
whole bunch of
way.
autograph stuff. So, and my dad was a big Cowboy fan, so growing up, he was always watching them on. And when you have parents watching your teams and stuff, you kind of like fall into that realm of just being a fan as well.
Mhm.
So I kind of watching Troy Aikman, Emmett Smith, Deion Sanders, Michael Irving. Those were the good old days, but we don't have that anymore. So I kind of know how Biz feels like. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
What about you?
Sports wise, like fandom,
Yeah, like Giants fan, I'm guessing.
I'm really just like Rangers, Knicks, and I've like recently become a big tennis fan. Like I love Ben Shelton.
Okay.
But I'm not like, I'll watch Giants and Jets games and Mets and Yankees games. And like I guess I lean more Mets Giants, but I'm not like diehard by any means. So like I wouldn't go around saying I'm a Giants fan. I wouldn't go around saying I'm a Mets fan. Like I'll root for New York sports in those two
Well,
sports.
since you root for New York sports, you need to root for Mason Taylor on the New York Jets. Keep an
Okay.
eye on him.
What's
He's
his backstory?
his dad used to play for the Miami Dolphins. Jason
Oh
Taylor's
wow.
son.
Uh-huh.
Really good
Jason
friends with.
Taylor's the bald guy.
Yep.
Yep. I remember him from Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, he played for the Jets for the last couple of years of his career, and
Mhm.
this year he got drafted by the New York Jets, and or his son did. Played at LSU. Really good kid. I used to but used to run into him at church all the time with him and his mom and his kids when they were like literally 5, 6 years old, and just to see him grow up and being in the
Yeah.
NFL now, it's really awesome to see. He got me an autographed picture of Jason Witten because they knew I was big Cowboy fans, and
Mhm.
that was one of the most memorable things I'll ever remember. And yeah, we became really good friends since, and it's exciting to see what he has to do this year in the NFL.
Where did he play college ball?
LSU
Oh, nice. Oh, so he's sick.
as a freshman too, so
Yeah. So
that
he's sick.
for being a freshman and being a starter in LSU, that goes to show you how good he was going to be. So
Mhm.
it's going to be exciting to see him play. But let's kind of get started. I kind of want to get to know who Jonny Lazarus is, right? Can you take us back to the beginning? Where did you grow up, and how did hockey first come into your life?
Yeah, so I'm born and raised Long Island, New York. Grew up in Syosset. I think I discovered hockey kind of on my own. Like my dad never played. He did go to high school actually for all 4 years. The Islanders won the cup, which is pretty cool, like on Long Island. And
Oh, so
yeah,
you,
so he
and-
had
so
he
you
had
never
some
became an
connection.
Islander fan,
He
right?
wasn't like really a hockey fan, so like there was
Okay,
no. I mean, I guess like I did go to a lot of Islander games, like when I was like, 5 to 7, like because Nassau Coliseum was a 20-minute drive. Tickets were like $10. Like it was so cheap and easy to go to Islander games. And my cousin Jason, who's like 5 years older than me, he was a diehard Ranger fan. So I remember in like 2002, I went to my first Ranger game and I was 7 years old. My Aunt Amy took me with my dad and Jason. We went to like, remember ESPN Zone? Remember those?
Dude, that brings us me back way back. Holy
Yeah.
crap.
Yeah, those were
Nice,
the best. So we did like
right?
ESPN Zone before. Then as soon as I stepped foot in MSG for the first time for a Ranger game, I was like, okay, this is it, you know. And my cousin Jason basically bullied me into being a Ranger fan over an Islander fan, so I didn't really have a choice. But there definitely are pictures of me when I was like, 6 or 7. Like I think my 6-year-old birthday party was an Islander game, and I was like wearing an Islander jersey with like, well,
I was gonna
that's an
say
Adam Graves fan
this doesn't
actually.
look like an Islander jersey right
No, no, no.
now.
That was like 5th grade. That was an Adam Graves like Ranger youth fantasy camp or something, and that was like really awesome. I'm actually wearing a Peter Pruka jersey in that picture, which is a
Okay.
real throwback. But yeah, so born and raised Long Island, but became a Ranger fan probably around like age 7, and it's been Rangers basically ever since.
How old were you in this picture?
10, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Mhm.
And who was your biggest influence growing up and in playing hockey
Um.
besides your cousin?
Yeah, I mean, probably my dad. Like my dad just did everything for me. My mom obviously as well, but my dad was the one like driving me everywhere, making sure I was at practice. And I remember there were days like I was playing every sport. I was playing hockey, basketball, soccer, and baseball. So, we'd drive and I'd be getting changed from my hockey gear in the back seat to my baseball gear, then from baseball to my soccer gear. Like, my dad just really took me all across the country, all across the world. And he didn't know anything really about hockey either, though. So like we kind of learned everything together, as well as my mom and my sister. My sister and my mom, like, while they weren't maybe at every game, they were still obviously incredibly supportive. And I know they wish they could have been at everything, but it was just too hard, with everything going on. But um, I do like just think about my childhood and how much I was doing. And at the point where I really had to focus in on hockey was honestly like 8th grade. Like I loved playing basketball. I loved playing every sport. And I think once hockey really started to get serious was around like the high school time. And I didn't even know like what college hockey was because on Long Island, like there's no major university. So,
Wow.
I didn't know junior hockey. I didn't know college hockey. Like it was all very new to my family. Um, obviously, which made the path a little bit different because there wasn't really anyone that we knew older than me that we could like reach out to and ask for advice because hockey was just like not at the time, like not such a hot thing to do on Long Island.
Kind of like it was here in Florida for a long time
Yeah, yeah.
before the
I
Panthers started winning, right?
I feel like our like age group on Long Island and our age group, like the 94s to like the 98s, on Long Island and in Florida, like kind of set the stage for where hockey is now in those two places. Like there were so many good kids in those 4-year age groups out of Florida and out of Long Island that have made the NHL. Like, I think Chase Prisky, Shane Gostisbehere as two of the names in Florida. And then like, obviously Fox McAvoy, Milano, some of those guys from Long Island, Pinto now that I think of, it's crazy to see because the birth years, ahead of those guys, I can't think of many when we were younger.
That's awesome. And growing up, watching movies like The Mighty Ducks for me
Yeah.
got me into like hockey. Just The Miracle on Ice, just things like that, and then just playing street hockey with my friends outside. How much street hockey did you play in Long Island?
Actually, a lot of roller.
Okay,
I never played street. We, luckily I lived in like a gated community, like a townhouse community.
okay,
So we had like a tennis court basically in my backyard, a communal tennis court, and
nice.
they'd cut the net down, like in the winter months. So me and my friends, we'd throw on our rollerblades, we put 2 nets on the tennis court, and we play roller hockey on the tennis court, which was awesome. So yeah, like luckily a lot of my friends knew how to skate, which was great. But yeah, I played it like every day after school. I'd throw my backpack down and like basically put on my rollerblades and just rip around.
Nice. Let's go back. Let's kind of go into college. What made you choose UMass? What was the first transition from playing, I guess, junior
Mhm.
to to college hockey?
Yeah, so my second year in juniors, I was talking to Ben Barr, who's now the head coach at Maine. Benny was the assistant at Western Michigan. He spoke to me after a game, I think in like November of my second year. And, we'd been talking throughout that season. I wasn't like scheduled to go out to Western Michigan for a visit or anything. But then in March, like just as our season was ending, I saw Benny got the job at UMass. So I reached out to Benny and I was like, hey, like, congrats on the job. Like, UMass would be a school that I would like love to go to. It's 3 hours away from home. It's Hockey East. Like, it's a recognizable school. One of my best friends from high school actually went there already. So like I'd have a friend there. And I knew a lot about the program growing up. Obviously, like, at the time, like Connor Sheary had just entered the NHL. Justin Braum was a steady defenseman with the Sharks that was out of UMass. Obviously, Jonathan Quick was like the biggest name.
Yep.
And
Brandon Montour.
I honestly didn't know Monty at the time though, because he was only there for like a semester. Like Montour's,
really?
I don't know if you know about Montour's career.
No.
Like, Brandon Montour went from I'm pretty sure he went from the USHL to college to the AHL all in one season.
No way.
He started a season in the USHL, then like UMass brought him in at Christmas. He played one semester at UMass and then signed an AHL contract, I think.
That's crazy.
Yeah, his story's nuts. Crazy. His story's nuts. But yeah, so once Benny got that job, I reached out and I was like, I'd love to keep talking about UMass, like, because I didn't show a lot of interest in Western Michigan, like full transparency. And then once our season ended, we lost in the championship game. I went out to UMass like the next week and then basically committed on the spot visit.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Can you share a favorite moment or a game, your career in UMass that kind of sticks out with you?
Yeah, I mean, my first game was like, we won 3-0. I scored the first goal like of the year as a freshman, which was like insane.
You must have been like on cloud nine.
I was on cloud nine. Like I watched that goal probably 50 times in my dorm room like that night, like just like on replay, hearing my name called, like, because to me, like I wasn't a highly touted recruit, so like, I didn't really get I got a college visit. Like I visited Penn State when I was in 11th grade and they came to watch me my senior year of high school and I sucked and I just literally never heard from them again. And that's kind of how recruiting goes. Like,
right.
So after that, like I didn't really get many looks. Like I was never confident that I'd play D1. And, I had one more year of junior eligibility left. So like I was considering going back and playing a third year. And like, then you're going into school and you're turning 22 as a freshman, which like I really did not want to do. But that first game and scoring a goal like right away, it's kind of like, okay, I belong, I wasn't expecting to play a lot my freshman year. So like getting the chance to suit up in our first game, getting on the second power play unit and like actually contributing right away was like my first 3 games. I had 4 points in the first 3 games and I was like, holy shit, like I'm actually like a good player. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was
like, okay, I could probably make the next level.
Oh yeah. I was like, I went from like, 6 weeks earlier, I'm like, oh, I just hope I get in a game. And like after my first 3 games, like, oh, I'm going to the NHL. I mean, like that's just kind of the highs and lows of hockey. But yeah, like the first month or 2 months of my college career, like I really felt like I was just like on cloud nine.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
How did playing at that level shape you as a player and as a person?
So when I got to college, like I kind of always thought that I had worked hard, like in my own mind, right? Like I always thought I was like doing everything I could. But when I got to school, I like really learned like what hard work was. Like, Willie Lagesson is one example. I don't know if you know the name. He's on Detroit. He's a defenseman. He played in Edmonton, a little bit in Montreal. But he was a sophomore when I was a freshman. And like Willie was a beast in the gym. Like even after games on like Saturday nights, like instead of, usually Saturday night in college, like as soon as that buzzer ends, you're sprinting to the locker room, getting your beer off and you're going to the bar. Like that's the one night a week where you can actually go out and have fun. But Willie, like there were so many Saturday nights where Willie's like staying for 2 hours after the game in the gym, like working out. Like this guy was dialed in on like everything he needed to do to make the NHL. And when you see guys doing that, like Mario Ferraro is another one I think of who was just like doing everything extra he could. And obviously Kale, like John Leonard, all these other names that came in my sophomore year. But it's just like eye-opening to see some guys work ethic who are now where they are because of, the time they really put in. And I kind of realized that I did not put in that time, like leading into college. Like I was, not someone who really had a personal trainer. I never really woke up before school to skate. I kind of did like the minimum it took to get there, but I loved hockey. So I was like always playing hockey, but I wouldn't necessarily say I was training. You know what I mean?
Right. And do you kind of go back and wish that you kind of had that mentality of maybe if I would have worked harder, I could have gone to the NHL level?
Yeah. I mean, there's always, there's always that what if, but like I, I was a very social kid. Like I wasn't a rink rat. I didn't love being in the rink all weekend. And I don't think I'd be where I am now if I like there are so many guys who could go back and do that and you still wouldn't make it. I
Yeah.
know guys that were waking up, didn't have any social life, dads were super strict and they still didn't make, you know what I mean? Like there's no guarantee. So I don't really have regrets, but I definitely always like wonder if I knew a little bit better at like 14, what it took, like maybe what that could have looked like. Or if I did a third year in juniors and like, really dominated junior hockey and then like went to a different school, like what that could have looked like. But like I really don't have many. The one regret I think I really have is I wish I kind of stuck it out a little bit longer at UMass. I kind of quit on myself.
Mm. So how
And I
many
always,
years did you play?
so I was there for like a year and a half.
Okay.
I left Christmas of my sophomore year because the coaches told me, and they were, and like, listen, like you got to respect the brutal honesty, but they said you're not going to be an every night guy. Like we just don't see you as that kind of player. And that was my sophomore year, and the guys that were playing ahead of me were freshmen, so it's not like they're graduating and I'm just going to get the spot. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think I acted more emotionally at the time, and I just really all I cared about was playing. But I loved my teammates so much there. Like I do wish, or I not wish, but I wonder what it would have looked like if I stayed there 4 years, if I could have worked my way back in. But I was just like really, really down bad, like in that like 4 month window.
Wow. So kind of going into this next segment, when did you realize you wanted to start creating hockey content?
Um, I don't know if I could pinpoint like one moment, but I always loved like we would always do these like fake interviews in the locker room. Like I'd take a stick and like make it into like a long mic or like a shin pad and
Yeah.
make it a camera like on my shoulder. And we
You
kind
know
of
what's
fucked around.
crazy? I
What?
used to do that with my friends here
Yeah,
all
it's
the
so
time.
fun.
Like we would just play football outside in the street, and then we'd come inside my house. Mom would have dinner and stuff, and after we'd be like, "So, hey, Alan, what did you think of that play when you scored a touchdown?" Just things
Mhm.
like that you do with your friends, and I would always do that with my friends and stuff. Just interview them after, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's all good, fun, silly shit, right? Like that's where the creativity kind of comes out. Um, but I like so when I started, like all I wanted to do was work in hockey. It wasn't like create content. It wasn't like a word, you know. Um, this is like 2018 probably when I started like doing like talk shows and stuff. Like I really just wanted to like I kind of I don't know if it's like cool. It's definitely not cool to say now, but like I loved watching like James Corden like when I was younger and like how I thought he was just
Oh,
a
okay.
great I thought he was a great interviewer. And I loved his like carpool karaoke stuff. And I was like,
Jimmy
I,
Fallon's one of my favorites.
yeah, like he's the best. And I was like, I could do that, like why
Right?
not? And my teammates always said like you have the personality for it, just like, you know, you can talk the game and you're kind of silly and stupid, but like it works. And I don't know that, yeah, there wasn't like one thing that like really pinpointed it, but when I transferred my sophomore year to Mercyhurst, I couldn't travel on the weekends with my team and I couldn't play in games for a year. So I had so much time in my hands to like try to
Mm.
think of what else I wanted to do. And it was always like doing a talk show or like, interviewing people. So that's kind of how that all started.
How do you balance between being authentic while also trying to produce contact content while trying to get the audience interacted?
Yeah, I think if anyone's watched me for, I guess from the beginning, I'd hope they'd say I haven't really changed much. I think when I first started, I always wanted to try to sound smarter than I actually am. I think everyone does, right? Like you want to impress people a little bit, but then like
Right?
once you realize you can laugh at yourself, like everyone fucks up, right? Like we're all human, we're all
We all
human,
do.
you
Yeah.
know. Um, Instead of like defending yourself when you're wrong, I think that's like kind of helped me a little bit. throughout the years. But listen, there are moments where I try to create a conversation out of nothing, because I think, being creative and finding ways to talk about the game in ways that other people aren't doing it sometimes, like, isn't necessarily the most genuine. It's genuine from the place it's coming from. Like, I'm creating this conversation because this is like a thought that I had. Do I necessarily agree with that thought? No, but I think other people could think about it and make it a conversation.
Right.
And I think that's what's engaging. But every opinion I really have, I can't think of any take I've had that I didn't truly believe in.
What's been your most favorite or memorable collaboration so far?
Collaboration. I mean, everything I do at Bleacher Report, like the skating around the ice with the players, like, to me, that is, if my 12-year-old self saw that, like, he would. I don't even know what the reaction would be. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, who was your favorite player you interviewed? I know you got to meet Sidney Crosby,
Yeah.
Duclair, Montour. Which one was the one that sticks out to you the best?
I'll actually tell you a great Duclair story.
Oh, that's awesome.
You'll
Especially since I just interviewed him this past week. And saw him at SoFlo.
And as a Panther fan, you'll appreciate this. So I did my skate around with Duclair between games 2 and 3 of the Cup final in 2023. So the Panthers are down 2-0 to Vegas. I'm at Amarant Bank. Is that what it's called, right? Amarant Bank. I don't think it was called that at the time, but I'm at the Panthers home arena, and Bleacher says, like, hey, we got to skate with Duclair at the end of the Panthers practice the day before game 3. So I'm like, holy shit. I am like putting my skates on, sitting on the bench, watching the Panthers practice in the Cup final. And then I'm going on the ice to talk to Anthony Duclair. So during my skate around, they had the defenseman one end working on one-timers and the forwards, I think, in the other end doing whatever they were doing, skills work. Like the main guys were kind of off the ice at that point. It was just kind of the scratches or the black aces and whatnot. But they set up a drill for the defensemen where the pucks were on the blue line in the neutral zone. And me and Duclair were skating around the neutral zone doing the interview. So I'm like skating backwards and I'm looking at him with the camera. I don't really see what's behind me. I skated through the line of the drill and knocked the pucks like a little bit out of place. And I don't know which coach it was, but one of the Panthers coaches goes like, "What the fuck are you doing? Get out of the fucking way!" And I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like I just disrupted a drill in the Cup final. Like, and Duclair's like laughing his ass off. Like, "Don't worry, dude. Like, you're fine. Like, he's just fucking around. Like, you're good." And I have that video. Like, I have that video somewhere on my phone. But that was something that was super memorable. Just like being on the ice, like during a practice in the Cup final, like with Duclair. And it was funny because I'd actually, from Vegas to Florida, I sat next to Duclair's dad on the plane, like randomly. So I told him, I was like, "Hey, I'm actually going to interview your son tomorrow," which is really cool. So I had a whole conversation with his old man, and that was just
great people.
The nicest.
Really awesome. And I got a chance to meet him this week at the South Florida semifinal, the SoFlo League.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Boko Imama, just really awesome guys, and just a great league. And I got to meet you at the league too.
Yeah.
So that was.
Have you been going a lot?
That was my second game. So, but next year I'm definitely going to go to a lot more games, and hopefully this year I'll be able to go to an Everblade game and go see Nico play, because he just signed again this year to play with them. So I'm gonna catch a game over there and maybe hype the guys up before a game too.
He's the best, right?
He's so awesome.
Yeah,
I love the way he plays out there.
He's nuts.
He's so insane. But it kind of goes to show you why he created the league, right?
Yeah,
it's just such an awesome opportunity to get guys interacted with hockey and keep them conditioned, right, and getting ready for the season. So that was pretty cool for him to tell me about that stuff. So kind of going into content creation can be time consuming. What does a typical Jonny Lazarus day look like?
I'll take it through like my busier days. So if it's a Rangers home game, I usually go from, waking up, doing my morning show from like 9 to 10:15. As soon as that show ends, I like close my computer, bust out of the apartment, get to the subway, try to get to MSG by 10:30 when the Rangers are on the ice. So I'm sitting at MSG from like 10:30 to like, let's say 12:15, watching morning skate for the Rangers and for the road team. Then after the Rangers are done, I go into their locker room, like talk to any players that are available to speak to the media, like grab some quotes, whatever that may be. Then, sit around waiting for the road team to do their skate. Then I go into their locker room, speak to their head coach, some of the players on the team, and, make whatever story I'm assigned for that day. So I usually leave MSG probably around 12:31, back to my apartment, like cook lunch, get my work done, write the article, whatever it was that I had to do that day, which usually gets me done around 3:30. Then I try to rip a quick gym workout, and then I'm out my door at 5 o'clock, heading back to MSG for the game at night. Watch the game, cover the game, do the post game stuff, and then try to pull some clips or whatever content I can in the post game. And then by that time it's already 11 o'clock, 11:30. It's a long day, but it's the best. It's the best day ever. And honestly, the Florida Panthers, all the employees that work there, I could sit. I don't want to leave any names out, so I'm not going to name everybody, but
Right.
they're one of the teams that when they're here, I sit with the broadcast team, the PR team, the social team, and I chat with them about their season, what's going on. And, they're one of the teams that's just so nice, so helpful, and willing to do whatever is needed for the media people to feel like they can do their job to their best ability.
And Katie Ingleson does a great job with the team.
Yeah.
Goldstein, Moeller, they're really, really great people, and they definitely interact with the fans too. And I think that also helps, and it's been helping trying to grow the game here. So, kind of my next question going into this next segment, you've been so vocal about growing the game. What does it mean to you personally, and what have you done to grow the game of hockey, not just in New York area, but just all over content creation?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that I go back to the Bleacher Report thing. If I can get NHL guys laughing and being goofy, because growing up it was oh, these guys are the same answer every time. They're so buttoned up. None of them have personality. If I could help bring that out, if I can get Nathan McKinnon to smile, you know what I mean?
That's
That is something that I take a lot of pride in. And I don't know if that's necessarily growing the game, but I love bringing out the human side of these guys because they are.
But you are growing the game. I mean, your content is getting people to like the game, right? They're looking at you and they're looking at the players. They're like, man, if these guys are so loose and they seem so normal like we are, it gets you to watch more. And I think, like me this year with Paul Bisnett and Busy Boy, I grown the game of hockey. A lot of people are like, man, Caesar, I love your personality.
Yeah.
I just started watching because of you, right?
Yeah. You are.
So are you, man, and you continue to grow the game too. So, I think that's one aspect of it, that you just be yourself and be your goofy self. And I it kind of reminds me of Jesse Pollock. He does it for
Far down. Yeah.
Far Down, and you guys kind of have similar traits there, and you might get a lot of backlash, but at the same time, I think the positivity weighs more than the negativity.
Yeah, I think I always try to aim for the positive. I think listen, it's easy to be a hater online, right?
Oh yeah. Trust me, I know. I know.
It's I see you with the fuck the haters tweets.
Oh yeah. Toronto fans came at me pretty well that.
Yeah.
But I think I got the last laugh.
Yeah, always. Always. I mean, you especially, you should be on cloud 9 right now when it comes to social media.
It's been incredible.
But yeah, listen, I think there's so much. It's easy to complain. It's easy to shit talk. To me, sometimes the people that go online to be negative, what do you what is for what, so if I can just bring a little bit of positivity to social media, and granted, I chirp, I talk shit too when it's warranted, but I'm not, I don't open my phone to go talk shit, put it that way.
Right. Which is, I mean, people sometimes they have too much time on their hands, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I know you don't have that much time left. Let's kind of go into BigCeaz's quick hitters. All right.
Yes, sir.
Couple questions here that we're gonna ask you, and let's see what you got to say. All right. First stick or pair of skates that you ever bought?
First skates. I didn't buy them, but my first skates, I have a picture I could send to you after, but My sister had a a pair of roller skates in the basement that I would throw on when I was like a little kid. That's like the
Oh,
first memory I have of wearing skates was a pair of Barbie like purple and
okay.
pink skates. Yeah.
Nice. Favorite NHL player growing up?
Sean Avery. I loved Sean
So
Avery.
good.
His just singing MSG as like a middle schooler and all the fans were chanting like Avery, Avery. Like that was just I loved that.
That's awesome. Pre-game meal of choice.
Chicken parm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Most New Yorkers, I guess. Are you Italian?
No, I'm not. People think I'm Italian though.
Okay.
Fully Jewish, 100% Jewish.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Most underrated teammate you've ever played with?
Ooh. John Leonard. He scored, I think, like 30 goals or 27 goals his sophomore year in college. He's had a couple of NHL games. He tore up the AHL this year. He's Ryan Leonard's brother, older brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's fucking nasty seas. Like this guy, like he's got the speed burst of like Frank Petrano when he's at his fastest. Like similar player to Frank Petrano, I'd say.
I love Frank.
He
Frank's
signed
the
with
king.
the best. Leno signed, I think, with Detroit. So hopefully he gets some games with the Red Wings this year.
Okay. If you weren't in hockey, what would you be doing right now?
I actually worked in music before and in like
Oh, really?
and in sales for like the tennis channel. So but I wouldn't like work in music, I don't think. I don't really know. It was always hockey for me. I never really wanted to do anything else.
Okay. Best chirp you've ever heard on the ice?
Best chirp I've ever heard on the ice. That's so hard off the top of my head. I don't know if I have one off the top of my head, to be honest.
Okay.
Some guys are ruthless though. That's for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Favorite movie of all time?
Super bad.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I just watched it the other day. It was
Yes.
so good.
I
Such a
want
classic.
a super bad too. I want a high school reunion
Dude.
with Seth, Evan, and Fogel.
Dude, they have to.
Have
They
to.
have
I mean,
to.
like they're ruining every movie with sequels, but like that's one I would love to watch.
Dude, and it's crazy because I was watching on how they ended up getting the parts. They didn't even want to give it to Jonah Hill,
Hill, right? Yeah.
right? It was like he's too old.
Yeah.
But like in the audition, he just killed it. They're like, dude, this is our guy. This is our
I
guy.
was like, I wish I could like. So I saw that movie when I was in 6th grade, and a lot of the jokes like went over my head. I wish I saw that movie for like the first time in like 9th grade.
Dude, I feel you. I feel you on that one. And kind of me growing up, American Pie.
Oh, the best.
Dude, those were such classics. When they made the reunion, it
was amazing.
It was so amazing. Like Stifler and all great.
I saw a
great
tweet the
reunion.
other day. It was like, has there ever been a character better casted than Sean William Scott as Steve Stifler? Like he's the
No.
perfect
Dude, he was like in all the movies, he's the same fucking dude.
Mhm.
Same dude.
Amazing.
And
I love those movies.
it's amazing. And they don't make them like that anymore.
No, they don't.
It sucks. It sucks.
Mhm.
Funniest teammate you've ever had?
Mario Ferraro, by far. I fucking love that guy, man. Like I am begging for the day that he's on like a better team, like not in San Jose, where like he's covered more. NHL fans would be obsessed with this guy if he got more camera time.
One last one. Most embarrassing hockey moment you ever remember?
There's definitely been a few. I think I fucked up my ankle once, like going for a change, and I fell into the boards. Like getting off, like when you get like you go for a change, you kind of like use your inside edge to stop before you get to the door.
Because I do that all the time.
That was good. That was good.
I got you there.
That was good. That was good. I went to stop, before I got through the door of the bench, and I just like ate shit, and I think I fucked up my ankle doing that. That's when
Did
the
the guys give you shit?
Always, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. When that stands out.
Well, Johnny, that was fucking awesome. That was fun. Thanks again for coming on, and definitely would like to have you on again.
Whenever you need, man. You're the best.
Keep doing your thing. Yep, keep doing your thing, and we'll catch you next time you come to South Florida.
Thanks, Tease. Be good, all right?
All right, you too. Take care, John. Wow, that was such an exciting episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it wasn't as long as the other ones, but man, Johnny, you are a class act. Thank you for coming on. I really enjoyed getting to know you personally and what you've gone through in your career. Your knowledge of hockey is undoubtedly incredible. And just keep doing what you're doing, man. You're definitely killing it. And for those of you that are watching, definitely follow Johnny. In the description below, I'll have all of his information, his social medias, and where you can find Jonny Lazarus. He is such a great guy. His content creation is second to none. And him and Jesse Pollock are one of the best out there. And it goes to show you, like, you don't necessarily have to be a professional to do what you want. He took a different path, and he's still in the game of hockey, which is something I love. And I'm slowly getting into that, right? I'm slowly getting into that with you guys. And not just with hockey, with other sports. I have a lot of other different people coming on to tell their stories on how they love sports. And this is why I started the platform, because I want to get to share stories that help them mold them to the people that they are today. And man, it's been so much fun. I can't wait. I got to meet Anthony DeClaire this week as well with Boko Mama at the SoFlo League. If you guys haven't seen the pictures, it's on my social media on Instagram, Caesar underscore inspires. Go check them out. Great, great, great hockey players. Not only great hockey players, but even better people. So, shout out to Nico Blatchman, such a great guy. Ended up signing with the Everblades this year. I'll be going to a couple of games, hopefully, and enjoy hockey. And even though it's a lower division, the community has welcomed me with open arms. They've already got me. They're like, Caesar, you got to come to an Everblades game. You got to come watch us play. And, you know, I can't wait. I really can't wait. I can't wait to experience it, and just being able to interact with the fans and stuff. So that'll be fun to go to. And like I always say, one shift at a time, one period at a time, one game at a time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Till next time, guys. So long. Love you.